Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Twin Robots. This came out, well, today on the store, and you'll be seeing it the day after it came out on the store. So, this is well, it calls itself a co-op platformer, but you can't actually play it co-op on Vita. You have to do it all by yourself, which is slightly annoying, but not particularly horrible in any sense of the word. Here's your configuration stuff, your music, your sound effects, and your brightness. I would probably recommend turning the sound effects down a bit because there are some sound effects that are woefully unbalanced in comparison to the rest of the sound effects for some reason. And you can also turn up and down your brightness, which is nice because the game is a little hard to see sometimes. But the default brightness is the lowest, but I'm going to keep it on about medium because the brighter the video is, the better it'll look on YouTube. Because seriously, YouTube really screws with video encoding. So yeah, not that much else to see. We won't bother looking at the credits and we'll just hit play immediately. Now, I've been playing for an hour and I've gone through 2/3 of the game's levels. Not perfectly, but I have gone through them. So a full-on run of this game could probably be done in an hour and a half. You do have trophies to get though, including some really annoying ones like die to spikes 25 times, which seems entirely unnecessary for a trophy, but we'll go have a look at the actual game itself, shall we? The game's technical performance isn't that bad for the most part, although if one of your robots dies, you might as well just restart the game, because if you're not going for the perfect runs, the game will probably become unplayable anyway, but oh well. So, this is Twin Robots. It's, as I said before, it's more or less a co-op platformer, but it's without the co-op in this version of the game at least. So, the idea is, you want to be rescuing, I'm sorry, I can't speak today. You want to be rescuing your twin robot friend by finding the red button on the stage, then you both have to get to the end of the stage. The end of the stage is signified via a big door that you can go into, and this big door will require some energy to charge. And to get energy, well, you don't get energy by default. What you get energy by doing is, once you have opened the red door, you'll get some form of energy via, excuse me, oh, there's a way up there, okay, let's just push that back. I probably want to keep this on this side. I just want to push this very slowly because the game's physics are a little bit weird. So once you've hit the button, these little blue hexagons on the floor light up and they'll give you energy. And you can also find batteries in some, but not all levels, that will also give you energy. You use energy when you do anything, from moving to jumping to, well, basically anything. Like, literally anything will cost you energy in this game, so you need to be pretty careful about that. You can actually transfer energy between your robots by pressing the triangle button, which is a pretty neat little thing, actually. So, I'm not actually going to be able to get out of this room here, so, well, without help anyway. So if I hold triangle, I can give energy to my other robot friend, which is good because it's a nice little thing, and I wish they'd use it for more puzzles. But I've been playing through the game, and as I said, I've been through 2/3 of the game's levels, and for the most part, this game is just, I mean, like, it barely even feels like a cooperative game. It just kind of feels like a sort of somewhat challenging shit. Okay, I think I've gone and fucked it up here, and I'm not going to be able to rescue my friend, but that doesn't matter. You can finish the levels with just one robot, it just doubles the amount of time it took to finish the level, so that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, if I hold triangle, it'll just suicide the rest of his energy. My main problem with the game's levels is that they tend to be gauntlets that you need to memorize, like shit like that, where you end up missing a button, or you end up going in the wrong direction in a maze, and you end up in the weird situation where you'll just be out of energy. And notably, you actually have to rescue your robot friend within a certain time limit by pressing the red button. Because as you can see over on the left side of the screen there, the crusher is ever so slowly coming down on his head. So if you don't find the button and actively get him out of there in time, you will lose the robot, and sometimes you might not even be able to finish the level because of this. Bit of a pain in the ass, I gotta say, just because of the way the game's energy works and the level designs and all that. So you just have to put a lot of effort into basically guessing at least the first couple of times, where the button is. Like, as you can see, I'm kind of having a little trouble finding the button right now, and the little camera's popped up, and if I don't find the button soon, my buddy is dead, which is unfortunate. But I have actually found the door, so I can just continue on anyway, which isn't the best thing in the world, but there doesn't seem to be anything stopping you from just leaving your mate to die, which is kind of funny, actually, when you think about it. I can imagine that being a laugh when you're playing with your mate, and it's like, oh, that's the exit, and I've got enough energy to unlock it. Bye! But again, when you're playing this solo, it just doesn't have that same effect, because you basically have to do each level twice on one run, because you have to swap to your mate, and you have to send them through the same level that you just went through. So you just end up in that sort of situation where you just have to play through every level twice, and it's surprisingly boring, even at the best of times, because the game's actual platforming and mechanics aren't particularly great. They aren't horrible. They do their job, and they do their job alright. It's just dull. It's just really dull having to go through these really simple stages. The only controls you have are left, right, jump, swap robot, and transfer energy. That is literally all you've got in the way of controls. And I've picked more or less the wrong way down, so chances are by the time I get back up and find the button, my mate's gonna be dead. Which is annoying. I'd have to restart and go right back down the other passageway. And that's basically this entire game in a nutshell. If you're not lucky enough to guess what way you're supposed to go to find the button the first time, chances are you're not going to finish the level anyway, which is really frustrating. And also, I use energy every time I move and jump, so if I move and jump too much, well, I'm kind of screwed, because I'll just end up running out of energy before I get to the door. Notably, this has only happened to me once, but still, it's a factor. It's a thing that can factor in. So my mate's been crushed, and I can't see him anymore. The game's performance right now seems to be fine, but there are points where the game's performance can just absolutely die when there's a bunch of scattered robot parts all over the place, especially when you die to one of the environmental obstacles. The game's frame rate just drops massively. Like, we're talking it'll just die. You'll end up getting, like, 5 frames a second. Like, you could literally count the frames that you get per second on one hand. Not particularly a big fan of games that do this. Notably, though, the game does run absolutely fine. Great, I'm going to need my buddy for that one. I'm probably not going to be able to get back up here either, which sucks. You know, I'm almost out of energy, which means I'm going to die. And the elevator's all the way down there. Thankfully, there's no fall damage, so I can literally just fall to it and just wait for it to go back up. But chances are, I'm not going to be able to get the energy I need to open the end door, which is to open the Star Wars planet. Okay, I'm not going to be able to open the door at the end because I just don't have the energy to do it. You need more energy than I've got right now, which is annoying because that means I just have to restart and hope I get the right direction on the next level. Oh, well, I found the energy hexagon, but yeah, my mate's already dead, so there's no point in swapping robots because I literally can't swap robots. I assume I'm going to need this for the... Yeah, there it goes. The game's physics are a little wonky, let's just say. I managed to get stuck inside the and away it goes. Yeah, and now I can't get to it. I'm probably stuck at this point. Yeah, I am well and truly stuck. Possibly, maybe. I'll have to go up and have a little bit more of a look around. But I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to exit the level and go back to one I've already beaten. So, let's just not waste too much time on this game. It doesn't really deserve it. That'll do, I guess. Level 14, why not? That's pretty much the entire base gameplay loop, though. Wander through a gauntlet, find things that you might need to get through the level, and just find the button, save your mate, get through the level. Yeah, I keep forgetting that's a button to activate the magnetic thing. I can't get him out just yet, so I need to go and find the button. Where is the button? It's got to be around here somewhere. Well, this crate at least will let me keep the door open, so I can It'll stop moving for a second, Jesus. Tommy's first physics game. Is that actually, yeah, it's pressed. That's weird. The actual button itself isn't pressed, but it's still pressed. Okay. But yeah, that's basically the gameplay loop. Wander through a maze. Try and find the, try and find the red button. Use the red button, try and get your do time alive. And it's just not as engaging as I would have hoped. It's really basic at the end of the day. It is a basic run through basic sets of levels with basic characterization. There's no real theme to this game, except it seems to be taking place inside some kind of death factory, and even then, it's not much of a death factory. There doesn't seem to be a plot. It's literally just robots get stuck, help the robots because they are possibly nice robots? I mean, if I'm not understanding something about the plot, please let me know, but that seems to be the entirety of the plot of the game. So yeah, I don't really think I could recommend it. It just seems dull and relatively uninteresting for what it is. There's nothing really in the way of puzzles. It's mainly just death gauntlets that you have to remember the way through correctly the first time, otherwise you just won't get through it. I'd have to wall jump. There we go. I'm pretty sure this is the way to the end, but I've been wrong before. I have to follow the box down, I think. Wait for it to drop with me. There it is. No, don't go that way. It's just... yeah, there's the exit door, so let's hop in the exit door, shall we? It's just uninteresting. Not notable. There's nothing about this game that really stands out. I mean, even if I was able to play the co-op mode, there still really wouldn't be that much about it that stands out. I mean, everybody says that... I mean, everybody says the game's better when it's got co-op in it. Well, of course it's better when it's got co-op in it. It's always going to be better if you play with your friends. But even if I had that, I wouldn't think there was anything notable about this game. I do believe this game is out on PS4. As to whether it gives you the PlayStation 4 version, I can't be 100% sure of. See what I mean when I say you just end up playing the same level twice? That is more or less what you do, in this version at least. I will say at least it's a decent port more than anything else, right? Oh, I remember this stage. This is the only stage in the entire game that's actually interesting because it's just a slope. It's literally just a slope. And they put the button in a really trolly place, but thankfully I actually managed to hit it that time. The last time I played this level I did not manage to hit it, so Mr. Robot Friend went out by himself, more or less. I do think I'm going to need to give him some, energy. So if I just stand away from the door and hold triangle, give him as much energy as I can. Please, lend me your energy! Or whatever Goku says when he's making the spirit bomb. And I fucked up on the first jump. Well, it wouldn't be a Blue Maxima video if I didn't fuck up spectacularly, would it? But... well, we've been here for 15 minutes, and I basically have nothing else to show you. That's the entire game in a nutshell. That was a look at Twin Robots. It's $5 on the store, but I don't really think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth your time. Go play anything else. It'll be a better use of the limited hours that we have on this earth, he says, having played an hour of this game. That's depressing. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.